The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of December 16 to 20 have come to Sharon's rescue. They will tighten Sharon's grip on reality by making her go through a nail-biting hypnosis. And boy, will it finally unmask Ian and Jordan. Next, Sally embraces her feelings for Billy, who might fall into Phyllis' orbit. We'll see how that goes. Finally, Denise is back in GC to join the search party for Nate's half-brother Damien. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Sharon Newman will finally listen to her inner voice. The character, who's spiraling out of control this past season, is set to undergo psychotherapy. Alan Laurent will take charge, and the stakes couldn't be higher. As for her family, Nick, Faith, and Mariah are concerned for Sharon's well-being. However, she's hell-bent on discovering what really went down during her mysterious blackouts. The mastermind behind Heather's untimely murder and Phyllis' car crash is still at large. So Sharon's recollection of these events could help solve lingering mysteries. She might remember someone tied to the drama or even their silhouette. Get ready for a hypnosis twist. Meanwhile, Ian and Jordan, the dangerous duo, are in for some danger themselves. The bad guys are walking on eggshells, but do they know this? Jordan swears there's no evidence linking them to this whole Sharon drama. However, Nick's ex-partner will stumble upon something incriminating which could blow up their sinister plot. Furthermore, Ian is already losing his patience, and all hell will break loose if Jordan misses the mark. Next, Sally Spectra will find herself in a messy triangle with Billy Abbott and Phyllis Summers. Sally's falling head over heels for Billy, who's planning to seek vengeance from Victor Newman with Phyllis. In the meantime, Nate Hastings continues his search for his long-lost half-brother Damien. Amy is racing against time to meet Damien one last time following her fatal medical condition. Can Denise Tolliver find Amy and Nate's missing family member? Hey everyone, welcome back to Radiant Serum. I'm Aubrey, and I hope your day is shining bright. Thank you for joining me. Let's jump right into today's video. The Young and the Restless is all set to kick off 2025 with a banger of a start. The spoilers reveal that actor Nathan Owens will debut on the CBS Sudzer in a dramatic and mysterious role in the January 8, 2025 episode. Currently, the soap is keeping the lid tightly shut on any details regarding the character he is set to play or the storyline that he is about to get involved in. However, after some digging, we have managed to find clues that hint that the character Nathan Owens is all set to debut. Previously, on The Young and the Restless, Amy Lewis confided in Nate Hastings about her son, who she had with Nate's father, essentially making him and Nate half-brothers. Amy requested Nate to find his brother and bring him to GC. Amy also told Nate that his brother, Damien, has sort of lost his way in life. She wanted Nate to take him under his wing and help get his life back on track. Reluctantly, Nate agreed to help. It seems rather plausible that Nathan Owens could be debuting as Nate's half-brother Damien. He seems to fit the age and ethnicity of the character. However, we will have to wait for the episode to roll out before being entirely sure of it. Speaking of Nathan Owens' past work, turns out Nathan is no stranger to daytime or to soaps. He has previously been part of Days of Our Lives. Nathan played the character Cameron Davis on the then NBC Sudzer in 2012. Apart from that, the model-turned-actor recently starred in a holiday movie, A Season to Remember. He has completed production on the independent feature, A Mother's Love in the lead role. Devin, Abby, and Lily weren't thrilled when Nate told them he was bringing Audra along on their celebratory dinner on the December 13 episode of The Young and the Restless. They all groaned, but ultimately didn't tell him not to bring her. During their meal, Audra surprised them all by getting emotional about family. It was just like a scene out of The Grinch where his heart grew 3 sizes bigger. Our question is, did Audra's really grow, or is this another of her schemes? Audra has been about Audra and Audra only since she showed up in Genoa City. She was Noah's long-lost girlfriend, but then she also had a partnership with Tucker. She's tangled with Victor and lost. Basically, Audra has crashed and burned in every business scheme she's cooked up in Genoa City. From Glissade to Chancellor to Glissade again, it hasn't gone her way, but she's managed to survive anyway. Now, she tugged at Nate, Abby, Devin, and Lily's heartstrings. Of course, Lily still looks skeptical that Audra's little display at dinner was for real. Devin later told Abby that he wasn't quite sure he trusted Audra's sudden softening either. Of course, Audra's softness might be new and for real. Perhaps Nate has changed her into somebody who wants more attachments and some family bonds. She might really be turning a corner. But that's not the Audra Charles we've come to know and distrust. We can't help but wonder if Audra is angling her way into working at Winters too. After all, she's out of a job right now, and surely there's something for her alongside Nate. Right, Devin and Lily? What do you think? The Young and the Restless spoilers for December 16 to 20 focus on shocking discoveries, bold moves, playing dirty, and Nate reaching out for help to find his half-brother. Sharon has finally entered the determined phase of her trauma. Her meds have been messed with for months, and she finally believes that there's more to the story. At the very least, she knows she probably didn't run Phyllis off the road. But she also needs to know if she killed Heather. That's why she turns to Tracy's beau, Dr. Alan Laurent, for hypnosis help at the beginning of the week. Will whatever she finds out help or harm her case? Later in the week, Sharon and Nick make a shocking discovery. It's one that may lead to Nick worrying about Sharon's safety. Will they finally get a glimpse of either Ian or Jordan? How about both? Even thinking about Sharon and Nick potentially being on to those two dastardly villains makes us happy. Unfortunately, GC residents will need to watch their backs and their loved ones. Speaking of which, Tessa falls into a trap. Look, we've been waiting for Tessa and Mariah to become more part of this story. Mariah has been beyond worried for Sharon, but Tessa has been on the periphery. Now, she will find herself knee-deep into this Ian and Jordan revenge nastiness. We can't help but think that Tessa falling into a trap is connected to Ian encouraging Jordan to play dirty. What'll they do? Does Mariah need to protect Arya at all costs? What unholy hell are Ian and Jordan about to unleash? While Sharon deals with harrowing circumstances, Phyllis does something interesting. She changes course with her revenge plot, and this comes after she makes a bold move. We're not even going to try and read Phyllis's twisted mind, but it does sound like things are going to get more and more messy. In much less scary news, Nate and Amy ask Denise Tolliver to help find Damien. How close is Nate to meeting his half-brother? His arrival feels imminent. Finally, one of the sole opportunities this week to feel any sort of peace, joy, or happiness. Jack and Tracy recall memories of Christmas past, so be prepared for flashbacks to classic Abbott family holiday moments. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Monday, December 16, center on Sharon, who is done meekly accepting her guilt and is ready to fight back and prove her innocence. Who will get caught in the crossfire? Sharon still thinks she killed Heather, even if Nick, Mariah, and Faith have convinced her she may have been drugged into doing it. Still, she's pretty certain now that she didn't run Phyllis off the road. She is equally convinced that Phyllis knows it too, no matter what she's saying in public. Sharon is not about to let Phyllis railroad her for a crime she didn't commit. If Phyllis thought she could trap Sharon into confessing to Heather's murder, then Sharon has an equally good reason to think she can trap Phyllis into admitting she's lying. Like in Thunderdome, two women enter, one woman leaves. Who will it be? Billy also knows how crazy Phyllis can get, but to be honest, he kind of gets off on it, especially when Phyllis does nutty things for him. In fact, he kind of eggs her on. Phyllis has another crazy idea. Billy tells her to go for it. If she succeeds, he'll be able to remind her that he was in her corner every step of the way. Now, how will she thank him? And if she fails, well, Billy will be there to wag his finger at her. Now, how will she thank him? This guy he thinks he can't lose, even though he keeps losing. Jordan teamed up with Ian because she thought they wanted the same things for the same reasons. She didn't do her research though, because Ian has a surprise for Jordan that could change everything. Young and Restless is getting mired in long, dull conversations again. Some are better than others and manage to evoke emotion, such as Jack and Kyle making amends, but most, frankly, just aren't compelling enough to be as long-running as they turn out to be. If I have to watch another scene with Claire going on about her new job or going into detail about Harrison and his many interests, I may scream. There's just no depth or substance. Viewers must be fast-forwarding this stuff, which is surely not the goal. Here's a look at what's happened and what's coming up. Philly rides again. The writers are isolating Phyllis ahead of what's surely going to be the next twist in Heather's murder case, which will see the tables turned completely. How are they isolating her? She's alienated from her closest friends and appears to have only Billy in her corner. She still has her kids, but Daniel was quick to entertain the idea that Sharon may have been drugged, which didn't go over well with his mom. So are Billy and Phyllis merely going to team up to take down Victor, or will the exes find themselves also drawn back into an attaction? A triangle was teased by head writer Josh Griffith, with Sally, of course, being the third party, but there's no telling if the Billy and Phyllis side of it will turn sexual, or if he'll simply be so sucked into plotting with Red that he neglects Ms. Spectra. As for the plot against Victor, I have to admit I was intrigued by the preview, with Billy telling Sally that he had a plan and he just walked through the door. Is it a lawyer? A cop? Someone from Victor's past? Give me your best guess in the comments section. It's interesting to see the Winters family coming together in the days ahead of the arrival of Damien, Nate's about-to-be-found older brother. If Amy's description is anything to go by, he'll be a pot stirrer and maybe a bad boy type, which could be fun, especially if they pair Damien with Lily, who deserves a romp after the year she's had. It's worth noting, as much as it's not all bad, it felt like settling for Lily to go back to Winters. Anyway, back to Damien. He could also be coming in to cause trouble for Nate and Audra, which may be why they went to the trouble of making them cozier and closer this week. Thoughts? They're really hyping the notion of Sharon undergoing hypnosis with Alan, which tells me that something will be revealed. I don't expect her to yell out, "It was crazy on Jordan in the apartment with the octopus statue." But she might sense that another person was in the room when she blacked out, or the session might focus on the car wreck. Maybe Sharon will be able to provide a description of the vehicle that Jordan was driving. It's also possible that the revelation may not involve Heather's case or the car wreck at all, and we'll instead find out that Alan is actually Martin. The Young and the Restless spoilers note that Christmas is right around the corner, and there's nothing more fun than having little ones in the house excited about Santa's arrival and Christmas morning. Harrison Abbott has talked about how much he enjoyed time with both of his parents in the past. So will he have a special request on Christmas Eve? The Young and the Restless spoilers. Harrison Abbott wants Summer Newman there for the big day. Y and R spoilers indicate there's a good chance that Summer Newman will pop by Christmas Eve to drop over presents and help Harrison prep for Santa's arrival. She, along with Kyle Abbott, will assist the little boy with placing some cookies and milk out for Street Nick, and possibly watch a movie and read him a holiday bedtime story. Harrison will be over the moon spending this special time with Mom and Dad, together as a real family, like they used to be. Could he wish that his mom could be there on Christmas morning to see him open up his gifts from Santa? He'll reason that as she doesn't know what Santa is set to bring, he'll want her there to witness every moment. After all, they weren't able to be together on Thanksgiving because of Phyllis Summers' accident. There's no way Skyle will refuse the little boy, and as there's plenty of room at the Abbott mansion, Summer will likely agree. If Summer sleeps over at the Abbotts on Christmas Eve, Could she and Kyle get caught up in a moment? They may reflect on Christmas past together with Harrison and during a time when it was just the two of them. While Kyle does care for Claire Newman, he still has feelings for Summer. So could Kyle cross a steamy line on Christmas Eve after Harrison falls asleep? This could be something as simple as a kiss or far more. Will Summer end up spending the night at the Abbotts on Christmas Eve? The Young and the Restless spoilers and updates tease Nick Newman might be walking into a storm as he positions himself as the savior in Sharon Newman's narrative. He's been diligently striving to uncover the motivations behind Sharon's unusual behavior, and his efforts have certainly yielded significant results up to this point. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Nick's persistence has paid off. Through Nick's relentless efforts, it was confirmed that PCP had been mixed into Sharon's medication and her pill container. This revelation sheds light on Sharon's troubling symptoms, including hallucinations, blackouts, and paranoia. Yet Nick's quest for the truth isn't over. He is resolute in finding out who is behind the attack on Sharon. However, this pursuit is unlikely to sit well with Jordan and Ian Ward, putting Nick at significant risk. Both Ian and Jordan were taken aback by Nick's cleverness in uncovering that Sharon had been drugged. I&R spoilers. Jordan and Ian may be in for more surprises. Nick might keep catching the malicious pair off guard as he pieces together clues and edges closer to uncovering the identity of the person behind the contaminated pills. If Nick starts connecting the dots too effectively, what actions will Jordan and Ian take? One can easily envision Ian and Jordan scheming to permanently silence Nick. After all, such a move would break Sharon and her family's hearts, which would please Ian immensely. Jordan would also relish the opportunity to bring Victor Newman and Nikki Newman to tears over the loss of their cherished son. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Jordan and Ian won't see a downside. For Ian and Jordan, eliminating Nick might seem like a risk-free endeavor. They could easily tamper with the brakes on his car or even resort to a more sinister method like poisoning. There are countless strategies they could employ to ensure Nick disappears without a trace. However, it's also possible that Nick could find himself facing off against Jordan and Ian in the future. This confrontation could spell serious trouble for Nick, especially since he would undoubtedly risk everything to protect Sharon. I&R spoilers. Nick could face a dangerous medical crisis. Nick could be on the brink of a daunting medical emergency that could deliver shocking news to his loved ones. Will he find himself hospitalized, fighting for his life? His family and friends might need to come together, hoping for a miracle in his time of need. If Nick were to fall into a coma, it would hit Sharon particularly hard, given her connection to him. Regardless of how it unfolds, our predictions for the Young and the Restless suggest that Nick is headed for some treacherous situations. With Ian and Jordan intensifying their plans, viewers should brace themselves for the chaos that's about to unfold. Young and the Restless spoilers for Friday, December 13 promise some interesting developments in GC as fans head into the weekend. Someone evaluates their feelings for a love interest, while a friendship is tested, and a character is betting on a second chance. What kind of drama is set to unravel on Friday? Time to dive right in. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Sally Spectra evaluates her feelings. I&R spoilers for Friday, December 13 note that Sally Spectra will evaluate her feelings for Billy Abbott. Will Sally feel as if she should slow down where Billy's concerned or dive right in? Does Billy do something that prompts the redhead to re-evaluate things? Fans will have to tune in to find out. I&R spoilers. Michael Baldwin and Phyllis Summers' friendship tested. Across town, Y&R spoilers for Friday, December 13 suggest that Michael Baldwin's and Phyllis Summers' friendship will be tested. These two have a ton of history, so it's sad to see that a wedge has been placed between them. As Michael has taken on Sharon Newman's case, this has rubbed Red the wrong way. She said multiple times in recent scenes that Michael defending Sharon in Heather Stevens' murder will be the end of their friendship, but does she mean it? What will Michael do on Friday's show that will push Phyllis over the edge? Will he accuse her of tampering with Sharon's medication or something else? The Young and the Restless spoilers, Nate Hastings hopes for second chances. Lastly, Y and R spoilers for Friday hint that Nate Hastings will turn to Laylee Winters and Devin Hamilton Winters, hoping they'll give Audra Charles a second chance. Audra's been looking for another job ever since Victor Newman fired her from Glissade. She's had nothing but bad luck, so could she get a job at Winters? Lily and Devin can't stand Nate's gal pal, and there's also the lingering memory of her past betrayals at the company, so it's hard to say if they'd ever hire her back. What storyline are you most excited about seeing on Friday? The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Ashley Abbott is back after her mental health treatment for dissociative identity disorder. However, Ashley mentioned having nightmares about Paris. Could this be a clue that Ashley's mental health struggle isn't quite over yet? The Young and the Restless spoilers, Ashley Abbott's return. Y and R spoilers reveal that Ashley has finally come back to Genoa City. Ashley was in Paris in a mental health facility getting treatment for DID. Abby Winters wouldn't get married unless her mother could be there. So Abby was thankful that Ashley returned just in time to see her marry Devin Winters. Y and R spoilers about Mrs. Martinez. While Ashley does seem to be a lot better, there also seems to be something troubling her. Ashley mentioned that she gave Mrs. Martinez 2 days off as she wanted to spend time with Dominic Newman Abbott Winters' chancellor. Abby seemed caught off guard by that, but quickly accepted Ashley's explanation. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that in the December 10, 2024 episode, Ashley told Abby that she is having nightmares about Paris. Abby wondered if the DID was truly gone, but Ashley didn't really answer. Instead, Ashley simply repeated what the clinic said about her progress. So that makes it sound like Ashley's alters might come back to cause more chaos. Normally, Alan Laurent would notice if Ashley was starting to behave oddly again. However, Sharon Newman has asked Alan to hypnotize her. Sharon is desperate for answers about her tainted medication, Heather Stevens' murder, and about Phyllis Summers' accident. So Alan could be hyper-focused on helping Sharon and miss the signs that Ashley is crumbling mentally again. Another thing to keep in mind is that with DID, usually the repressed memories need to surface. That includes remembering things that are painful and that caused the DID to begin with. This could be really uncomfortable or even terrifying for Ashley. So that's another big sign that Ashley's mental health storyline isn't over yet. With Jordan and Ian Ward on the loose, how will they factor into Ashley's illness? Even though Ashley doesn't seem to be on Ian and Jordan's radar, she is connected to the Newman family. I could also see Jordan getting the bright idea to use Ashley's delusions to further cause chaos. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal a preview clip has been released for the week of December 16, 2024. It shows Sharon Newman and Nick Newman meeting with Alan Laurent. Nate Hastings needs to decide if he wants to meet Damien. Plus, Billy Abbott claims to have a fail-proof plan. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Denise Tolliver's discovery. Y and R spoilers for the week of December 16 reveal that the preview clip shows Denise Tolliver meeting with Nate and Amy Lewis. Denise has found Nate's half-brother, Damien. Now Nate has a big decision to make. Does Nate want to meet Damien? Is Nate ready for such a big step? During the week of December 16, Nate will have to mull over whether he wants to take a chance with his half-brother. We know that Nate eventually does meet Damien. How will the brothers get along? Will they be a lot alike, or could they be very different people? Is Damien a good person, or could Nate make a mistake trusting him? What about Damien's relationship with Amy? Through it all, Audra Charles has promised to be there for Nate. Could Audra have some hidden history with Damien, though? The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of December 16 reveal that the video preview also features Sharon. Fans recall that Sharon already asked Alan to hypnotize her. Nick was concerned, especially since Sharon has been hypnotized before. However, Sharon said that Alan is a pioneer in the field and she trusts him. So Sharon and Nick will meet with Alan. In the preview clip, Sharon must accept that the hypnosis might not work. Sharon knows this, but is desperate. Sharon adds that she is willing to try just about anything to regain her lost memories. There is also a scene with Billy and Sally. Billy is overconfident and says he's not going to fail. Sally asks how Billy can be so sure. Billy replies that he has a plan. A big part of that plan walks in the door right at that moment. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most during the week of December 16, 2024? What are your predictions for Billy, Sally, Nate, Damien, and Amy? What does the future hold for Billy, Sally, Sharon, Nick, Alan, Audra, and the other Genoa City residents? At the Chancellor Mansion, Devin can't believe this is happening. He assures Lily he won't expect to get his way all the time and will be a team player. Lily thanks him. She says she's been thinking a lot about what she really wants. Billy and Victor talk about family legacy, and she realized she should be building up theirs. Abby appears and they fill her in. She's thrilled. Divo wants to celebrate. Let's go. At Nate's place, he and Audra share a little toast and kiss. He tells her he could spend forever with her like this on the couch. She teases about slagging off. His phone rings and she urges him to take it. He reluctantly picks it up. It's the PI who's looking for Damien. He answers and asks if they found his brother. He listens and says, "Thanks for the update." He tells Audra that a lead has led the investigator to Los Angeles. Just then, he gets a text from Devin, who asks him to join them to celebrate good news about Lily. Nate asks Audra how she feels about spending some time with his family. Audra complains, and he reminds her that she said she was committed to winning them over. He coaxes, "Do it for me." Audra thinks that's something a boyfriend would say. Are we turning into a couple? Nate knows she hates labels, but she likes spending her time with him, and they did a major holiday together. They kiss, and she agrees to go. In the park, in the dark, Sally and Billy pause their jogging session to discuss heart rates and how cold is out there. Billy says he needed this after the day he's had. They sit and he warms her up. They kiss and suddenly she doesn't feel as cold. He teases that next time she might have to wear another layer. She jokes about him telling her what to wear. They keep bantering as Billy says they might have to find another way to keep warm. Phyllis enters Crimson Lights and turns around when she sees Lauren and Michael. Lauren calls her name, and she says hello to her. Lauren urges her to sit down and talk it out with Michael, who jokes about the chill in the air. Phyllis says there are other homicidal maniacs to defend besides the one who killed her son's love and framed him. Michael says they all want justice to be done. Phyllis says the only way that will happen is if Sharon spends her life in prison. She'll make sure that happens. Michael chases her onto the patio and says he wants whoever ran her off the road to pay. So let's find out who it did it. Phyllis learns that Lauren told him the car she saw in her flashback wasn't Sharon's. Phyllis accuses her of betraying her too. Michael tells Phyllis they all just want the truth. Phyllis knows the truth and won't be cross-examined by Sharon's lawyer. Michael's looking out for her as a friend. She could be charged with obstruction of justice. Phyllis argues that he's acting like her enemy. Michael says demonizing him won't help anything. He reminds her she cruelly put them through a memorial service for her. She thought they were past that. Michael says they are because they forgave her. Standing up for her didn't win him any friends, and now he's doing it for Sharon. He urges her not to make things harder than they already are, and to tell him the truth. At Society, Abby tells Lily a story from the honeymoon about Devin trying to touch a sea turtle and accidentally petting a tiger shark. Devin gets a text from Nate saying he's coming and bringing Audra. They all groan. Lily says she's abrasive and off-putting. Devin offers to say no. Lily wants Nate to know he has her support. Devin guesses they'll need a bigger table. Nate and Audra arrive, and they all sit. Audra asks about Devin and Abby's honeymoon. Lily jokes that Abby nearly came back a widow, and adds that it's an inside joke. Abby asks about Audra's job search. She says she's weighing her options. Nate asks what the good news is about Lily. Devin says she's joining them at Winters. Nate is tickled. Abby asks what made her decide to return. Lily admits it was hard to let go of Chancellor and getting used by the Newmans, but she realized that she could accomplish everything she wanted to do at Winters. She was focused on the wrong legacy. I want my dad's legacy to live on. Devin says Neil would be proud and happy that the three of them are doing it together. Lily knows she can trust them, and that means the world to her. Devin grins. Welcome back. Abby thinks Nate is getting emotional, and Audra says he's a big softie. Nate doesn't know what the ladies are talking about, but he appreciates what Lily said about family. He shares the news that he's searching for his half-brother. Lily's excited. Nate admits it's had him thinking about his dad, checking in with his mother, and grateful to be working alongside his cousins again. They all share a toast. Audra suddenly tears up. Nate asks, "Now who's the big softie?" Audra claims she has something in her eye, but then admits she got a little emotional. Feelings aren't really her thing, but all their talk about family just got to her. Abby asks if she's close to her family. Audra says no. She hasn't had much of a family since she was a kid. She thought she was okay with that. She is okay with that. She wipes her eyes. You guys are all just so lucky that you have each other. Audra, wanting the opinion of herself, proposes another toast. Who would have thought that I would be the one warming up to you guys, and you would be the one to warm a little piece of my heart? They all share a toast to the Winters family. At Crimson Lights, Phyllis tells Michael she knows he's trying to get Sharon acquitted. He'll lose her friendship if he does that. It's done. Lauren protests, and Michael tells his wife she doesn't have to defend him for doing what's right. Michael and Lauren storm out, and Billy walks up to Phyllis to ask if she's okay. Phyllis says she just realized that two people she thought were her friends clearly are not. He asks, "What's going on?" Phyllis says she has new ideas about bringing Victor down. She'll buy him a drink. Billy says Sally already got him one, so he will meet up with her in the morning. She says it can't wait. Billy knows she's upset and wants to use him, and the plan to go after Victor as a distraction. Phyllis thinks he'd rather have a scotch with her than a hot cocoa with Sally. Billy won't let Phyllis run down Sally. Phyllis doesn't think she can give him what he needs, which is to take Victor down. They have nothing in common except that Adam and Chelsea trampled on their hearts. Billy won't give her the fight she's looking for. He assumes this has to do with Sharon. She complains about Michael defending Sharon. Billy tells her she has to let it go. He says goodnight and rejoins Sally. Phyllis follows him inside, and he tells her goodnight again. She walks out. Sally shoots Billy a look. Everything ok. Billy says Phyllis is looking for a friend right now. Sally asks if he needs to go be with her. Sally asks if he needs to go be with Phyllis. Is he worried she'll do something she regrets? Billy says she's always judged the same way he is and seemed desperate. Sally tells him they'll meet up later. Go be a good guy. I'll wait up for you. At Nate's place, Audra tells her boyfriend a funny story Devin told her about him. Nate can't believe he took her into his confidence. Audra thinks he was just trying to embarrass him. It's kinda cute. They banter, and he realizes she had a good time tonight. You took a giant step toward winning over my family. Audra mocks herself for getting emotional. Nate would like to see more and know more about her family. Audra's not proud of where she came from. Nate knows about her alcoholic father. Her mom was distant, cold, and an enabler. There wasn't a lot of sentiment. Nate guesses that's why she's so driven. Audra says it's also why she's not good at the whole emotion thing. Nate gets wanting to push down painful memories. He didn't think much about his dad until Amy showed up. He's thankful Neil and Malcolm helped fill the gap, but it's not the same. Talk turns back to her situation. Audra tries to focus on what's in front of her. He asks, "Do you like what you see?" She says, "Very much." They kiss. At Society, Lily is sitting alone at the bar when Phyllis comes in and orders a Scotch neat. Lily hopes she's feeling better. Phyllis is feeling great. "Out of the hospital, out of my job. Now she can help her son grieve full-time." Lily's sorry about her losing her spot at Abbott Chancellor. Phyllis remembers she gave her grief about it at the time. Lily admits it didn't work out for either of them. They were both bounced out by Billy. Phyllis says she bounces back. "I always do." At the Chancellor estate, Devon is on a high over Lily coming back to Winters. Abby's sure he has a to-do list for her in his head already. She's glad to see his smile and they kiss. Devon credits Abby with having a hand in making it happen. Abby says Audra said it perfectly. It's a family connection. They marvel at Audra's emotion tonight and admit she was more tolerable than normal. Devon questions if it was real. He's not sure he buys a softer, kinder Audra Charles. Abby asks if he really thinks it was an act. Devon has a problem trusting her. Abby asks, what would be the point? Devon says that's true, but it's possible she was trying to impress them to pull Nate in even deeper. At Nate's place, he likes seeing Audra with her guard down. Audra doesn't know if his cousins feel safe around her. Nate appreciates her putting herself out there for them. She teases, "Don't get used to it." They kiss and watch the fire. At Society, Lily apologizes to Phyllis for lashing out at her when she was really mad at Billy. She shares that she reached out to Daniel and told him to call if he needs anything. Phyllis thinks that's sweet. Lily says they all got burned by Jill and Victor. Phyllis says being hospitalized made her realize being part of Jill and Victor's reindeer games isn't important. Lily reveals she's going back to Winters. Just then, Billy appears. He tells Phyllis he's glad he found her. Lily senses they have things to discuss and says goodnight. Billy orders a scotch and remarks on Phyllis and Lily sitting down together. He apologizes for pushing her away earlier. Phyllis admits she could use a friend. "We are so thankful that the young and the restless Eileen Davidson and her family are safe and sound today. It sounds like a close call when Malibu's Franklin fire drew terrifyingly close to Davidson's home. The fire exploded frighteningly fast, but firefighters have been working hard to contain it, and as of Thursday night, had gotten it under control enough to lift some evacuation orders. Davidson's home, it sounds like, was one of the lucky ones to have the orders lifted, and the actress took to Instagram to share the news and, of course, thank the brave people who have been fighting tooth and nail to contain the fire, as well as her niece. "The last few days have been a nightmare," she wrote. "Thank God we were spared. Under an evacuation warning for 48 hours is beyond frightening. I'm so grateful to the fire department and everyone who bravely helped get the Franklin fire under control, and I'm so sorry for those who lost their homes." Along with her post, the actress shared some terrifying photos of the sky aglow with the orange light of the fires, suitcases full of clothes and boxes of photo albums. It seems like dealing with wildfires has, sadly, become just another part of life these days, as they've raged from California and Colorado to Canada, and even this past fall, New Jersey and New York. It's certainly a fear and a heart-itchy Tracy E. Bregman knows all too well, having lost her own home in the Woolsey fire back in 2018. She took to the comments to share some understanding love with Davidson, along with a whole lot of friends and fans who were thrilled to hear that Ashley's portrayer, her home, and her family were safe. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.